Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Royce. I am a painter, sculptor, and a collector. Today's episode is going to focus all on Disney's Tarzan. Yes, over the years I have accumulated quite a collection of one of my favorite movies of all time. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to start with the piece that truly is such a memorable piece in my childhood, and that is the spear. I bought this spear at KB Toys. Well, I say I mean my mom. I remember playing with the spear as a kid. I do know that the actual top part where the knife is comes off from the stick, and I remember having such fun adventures with this piece. And I have no clue what happened to my original one, but I am so happy that I was able to finally, after years of searching, come across the spear. Not only the spear itself, but in its original packaging in very good condition. I was overwhelmed to pay pretty much the exact same price as it says in the back. So I was very excited about that. But yeah, that is the spear. Up next, we are going to look at this lunch pail. Now, this lunch pail is still in very active use. I use it every day when I go to work, and it is a hit in the lunchroom. I have such fun memories with taking a lunch pail to school. I had Aladdin, I had Beauty and the Beast, I had Pocahontas, and I never had the Tarzan one, so I bought this recently, and I still use this at work every single day. It is such a hit, and it keeps my lunches either warm or cool. It has the thermos in it, and it's just such a fun piece. They do have this in Tarzan and Jane as well, but I chose the one in green with Tarzan and some more. Alright, coming over here, we have a very, very fun classic toy playset collection. This is the Jungle Treehouse playset. Now, this was released in 1999. This toy set was released by our friends at Mantle, and this is such a fun, highly detailed toy set. These toys, they just don't make them like this anymore. They're either cheap or just a little bit more simplistic. Look at the leaves in this. Look at the detail of the texture and the bark and the tree trunk and all these different pieces. This actually came in its original box, and I had this as a kid, but I had to rebuy this one as well. All right, up next we have a very, very fun, sentimental piece for me, and that is going to be this CD. This is actually a game that was used on the PlayStation 1. I actually still have my original PS1 with all of my videos. I'm going to do a video on that soon, and I pulled this from my collection. I loved this game. If you have never played this game before, I have no idea if they have re-released this with newer, up-to-date graphics. If they have, take it. And then also play the original, because it's such fun. I remember the level when you have to escape the stampede when Tarzan and Turk cause the ruckus in the water. It was so hard to beat that level, and I finally beat it. They also have a really fun surfing the tree branches, and you have to jump over certain vines, and you have to reach for bananas. It is such a fun game, and this is a piece of my childhood that I am so fortunate to still have. Alright, next up are two very fun pieces. Here is an animation maquette of Jane and Tarzan. Now, maquettes, for those that do not know, are used by animators at the Walt Disney Animation Studios, and these are basically tools for them so that they can draw them correctly from every angle, and just to really make sure that the character looks the same throughout the film, because yes, there is one character designer that designs every character. So for instance, Tarzan was designed by Lindy, but he was animated by many artists. So it's really a fun tool for those artists to use, especially in-betweeners, to make sure that Tarzan is looking like Tarzan. And especially with Jane, she has another fine detail of what Milton can design. Kent Milton, is one of the fabulous designers at the animation studios in the Renaissance era. He designed so many amazing maquettes. I have quite a collection. I'm going to actually do a collection on my miniatures and maquettes, because for me, maquettes are just like the crown jewel of a collector's piece. If you love a movie, I know that a lot of people, for instance, really chase after Pocahontas or Mulan or Aladdin. So to have both the leading characters, Jane and Tarzan. And my Tarzan collection for me is just so fun. And of course, the soundtrack is so phenomenal. Phil Collins did such an amazing job by capturing a mood and a theme and a time with Tarzan. I think that the moral of Tarzan is always to believe in yourself and to really embrace how you were raised and where you were raised, because it is your home. Even though, for instance, his mom that was a gorilla did not give birth to him, that is still his mother, and I think that that's the theme. So for me, what really makes this film very fun is I relate a lot to these characters. For me, Jane and me are very similar. I, for one, love the color yellow, and I love that she's in yellow, but she loves to draw. And I absolutely love to draw. If you haven't seen my drawing videos, check them out. And also, I love to adventure. I love animals. I love to research and just observe their behavior. I find it fascinating. So for me, Tarzan is such a fun movie, and I think that if you've never watched it, you should check it out. Tarzan 2 is questionable for me, honestly. But you know what? It's really hard to capture the essence and the love and the just presence of the characters in a sequel. So I just highly recommend that you watch the movie Tarzan. If you haven't watched it in a while, check it out. It's so good. It has great villains. At least at the time of this recording, I'm so sad that Tarzan's Treehouse is being taken down and rethemed. I loved going into Tarzan's Treehouse. When I worked on the Jungle Cruise, we would have called a dock hand when you worked the Jungle Cruise, and you were able to kind of just walk the Adventureland area, and one of those assignments was to walk Tarzan's Treehouse, and I always volunteered because I loved seeing Tarzan and Jane up there, and I just loved the music, and it is a lot of steps, so I'm really, really sad that, it's being rethemed, but I think that Disneyland is not a museum. It is constantly growing, it's constantly evolving, and this is just a reminder that nothing's permanent, and I think that Tarzan had his time in that treehouse, just like his family Robinson, and we'll see who is the new resident of that treehouse. In Kanto, perhaps? I don't know. We shall see. Alright everybody, that is all the time we have for this video. If you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified whenever I upload a new video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Be nice to one another. And always remember not only to follow your dreams, but to chase them. Later, dreamers.